Episode 11. The Failed Rider. The ancient arena waited. No crowd, no cheering, no witnesses. Only two warriors standing across from each other. Kael Veyron held his weapon tightly. Across from him stood the failed rider, a warrior from an age that no longer existed. His armor was cracked, his sword was damaged, his body carried scars from battles that happened hundreds of years ago. Yet his presence alone made Kael feel something he had not felt since meeting Veyron. Pressure. The warrior raised his blade. "You remind me of myself." Kael lowered his stance.
"That's not exactly encouraging."
The warrior stared at him. It should not be. A pause. "Because I failed." The arena shook. The trial had begun. The warrior disappeared. Kael barely reacted. The blade came from his side. Kael blocked. The impact forced him backward. Pain traveled through his arm. Too strong. The warrior moved again. Another strike. Another. Kael defended himself, but every attack pushed him closer to defeat. The difference was obvious. This wasn't a normal fighter. This was someone who had spent a lifetime fighting beside a dragon. Someone who understood battle on another level. Kael dodged a strike and created distance.
"You said you failed."
The warrior watched him. Yes. Kael tightened his grip.
"Then why are you still here?"
The warrior looked at his own hands, because failure is not always death. A pause. Sometimes it is worse. The arena changed. Images appeared around them. Kael saw a battlefield, a dragon falling from the sky, a rider screaming, a bond breaking. The warrior spoke. "My dragon trusted me." His voice became heavier, and I betrayed that trust. Kael watched silently.
"What happened?"
The warrior looked at him. "I wanted more power." The words sounded familiar. I thought strength was the answer. The arena walls cracked. I believed if I became stronger. A pause. I could stop losing. The warrior attacked again. This time, Kael moved with understanding, not trying to overpower him, not trying to match his strength, learning, adapting. The same way Veyron taught him. The two weapons collided. Kael spun away. The warrior stopped. For a moment, something like respect appeared. "You listen." Kael breathed heavily. "I have a good teacher." The warrior looked toward Kael's faded mark. "Veyron." Kael froze.
"You know him."
The warrior lowered his weapon. Everyone who survived that age knows Veyron. A pause. He was the last dragon who believed humans could change. Kael looked at him.
"What happened to your dragon?"
The warrior looked away. "I killed him." Silence. The answer hit harder than any attack. Kael stared.
"Why?"
The warrior closed his eyes. "Because my fear was stronger than my bond." The trial arena began breaking apart. The warrior raised his sword one final time. "Now show me yours." Kael stepped forward. The final exchange began. No powers, no flames, no dragon abilities, only two people fighting with everything they believed in. The warrior attacked. Kael blocked. Kael countered. The warrior adapted. They moved faster, harder. Each strike carried a lesson. Each movement They moved faster, harder. Each strike carried a lesson. Harder. Each strike carried a lesson. Each movement revealed the difference between them. One fought because he wanted power. The other fought because he wanted to protect. The warrior's blade stopped at Kael's shoulder. Kael's weapon rested against the warrior's chest. Both froze. A draw. The arena went silent, then the warrior smiled. You passed. Kael lowered his weapon.
What was the lesson?
The warrior looked at him. That you are not me. A pause. And that is why you may succeed where I failed. The ancient armor began turning into light. The warrior looked at him.
Who are you?
Warrior smiled sadly. My name was Vale. A pause.
The first rider of Veyron.
Kael froze. The light consumed him.
Trial 2. Complete. Combat understanding increased. Rider history unlocked.
The connection returned. The mark on Kael's arm burned. Veyron's voice reached him.
Kael.
Kael looked up.
Veyron!
The dragon sounded different, not powerful, emotional.
You met him?
Kael nodded.
Arian.
Silence. Then
I thought I lost him forever.
Kael looked at the fading arena.
You did,
A pause.
but he was still trying to help you.
The trial chamber opened. Kael stepped forward, but as he left, the world shifted far away. Beyond the mountains, inside a fortress made of black stone, a man stood before a massive window, watching the same trial. Malric Voss. A crystal floated in front of him. Inside it, Kael's battle. Every movement, every decision, every moment, Malric watched silently.
He passed the fear trial
A figure behind him answered.
and the combat trial.
Malric smiled. Answered.
Combat trial
Malric answered.
and the combat trial.
Malric smiled.
Yes.
A pause. He is learning faster than expected. The figure stepped closer. Should we kill him now? Malric shook his head. No. He turned away from the crystal. Not yet. The figure looked confused. Why? Malric stared at his own hand, the same hand that once reached for dragon power. He needs to become stronger. A pause. Strong enough to understand what I am going to take from him. The figure lowered its head. What are you planning? Malric looked toward the mountains, toward Kael, toward Veyron. The boy thinks the dragon chose him. A dark smile appeared, but he does not know the truth. The room became colder. The dragon did not choose Kael Veyron. A pause. Veyron chose him because he needs a replacement. The crystal flickered. Kael stood beside Veyron. Malric watched. Let him complete the trials. His eyes glowed. Let him believe he is becoming a hero. A darker smile, because the greatest heroes, a pause, make the greatest sacrifices. Episode 12. The King of the Forsaken. The world remembered Malric Voss as a monster, a name whispered in dark rooms, a warning told to children, a nightmare given a human face. But history had forgotten something. Before Malric became the enemy, he was a man who wanted to save the world. The fortress of Blackstone stood beyond the northern mountains, a place where sunlight never touched the ground, a place where the walls were built from the remains of ancient wars. Inside the highest chamber, Malric Voss stood alone. The room was filled with relics, Ancient weapons, broken dragon scales, fragments of lost civilizations, everything humanity had forgotten, Malric had collected. A servant entered the chamber. Lord Malric. Malric did not turn.
Report.
The servant lowered his head. The dragon rider has completed the second trial. A silence followed. Then Malric smiled.
Of course he has.
The servant hesitated. You expected this? Malric touched an ancient dragon scale resting on the table.
I created the path he is walking.
The servant looked confused. Created? Malric finally turned. His eyes carried centuries of knowledge.
Do you think destiny is random?
A pause.
Do you think Veyron simply found a boy in a mountain?
The servant said nothing. Malric looked toward the window. The mountains were visible in the distance.
Dragons always believed they were choosing humans,
His expression hardened.
but they never understood.
A pause.
Humans were choosing what dragons would become.
The servant lowered his head. What do you want from the boy? Malric walked toward a large chamber behind him. A massive machine sat in the center, not made of metal, made from bones. Dragon bones. The servant stepped back.
The Soul Forge,
Malric smiled.
still remembered.
The Soul Forge was the greatest achievement of the ancient age, a creation designed to do the impossible, to separate a dragon's power from its soul, to take the flame without needing the bond. Malric stared at the machine.
Everyone believed the Soul Forge was a failure.
A pause.
They were wrong.
The servant looked at him. Then why wait? Malric's expression changed because for the first time, the anger disappeared. Only sadness remained.
Because Veyron is not just a dragon.
A pause.
He is the source.
The servant understood. The original flame. Malric nodded.
The first true dragon heart.
Far away, Kael slept inside the Black Covenant fortress, unaware, unprepared, the enemy watching him. Malric looked into a crystal showing Kael. The young rider sat beside Veyron, a bond forming, a friendship growing.
Look at him!
Malric whispered.
He still believes the dragon saved him.
The servant remained silent. Malric continued.
I believed the same thing once.
The room became quiet 1,000 years earlier. A younger Malric stood beside his own dragon, a creature of silver scales and burning blue eyes. The two fought together, laughed together, trusted each other, until the day the dragon died. Malric watched the memory. His hand tightened.
I begged the world to help me,
A pause.
but the dragons refused.
The servant looked away. Malric's voice became colder.
So I built a world where no one needs dragons,
He looked back at Kael.
even him.
The crystal flickered. Kael woke suddenly. Veyron looked at him.
Something is wrong.
Kael frowned.
What?
The dragon looked toward the darkness.
I felt him.
Kael knew immediately.
Malric.
Veyron nodded, but somewhere far away, Malric smiled.
Good. He remembers me.
Episode 13. The Man Who Hated Dragons. Malric Voss stood before the Soul Forge. The machine waited, silent, patient, like it had been waiting for him for 1,000 years.
Begin preparation.
The servants moved immediately. Dark energy flowed through the chamber. Ancient symbols awakened. The fortress began to shake, but Malric did not look at the machine. He looked at an old painting on the wall, a painting of a man and a dragon, a friendship that no longer existed. The man in the painting was him, before the war, before the betrayal, before the hatred.
You were right.
Malric whispered.
I was weak.
A memory returned, a young Malric kneeling beside a dying dragon, his hands covered in blood, his voice shaking.
Please, don't leave me.
The dragon looked at him. You cannot stop death, young Malric cried.
Then I will destroy anything that creates it.
The dragon's final words were simple. That is how monsters are born. Malric opened his eyes. The memory disappeared.
Yes,
He looked at the Soul Forge.
and you were right.
A pause.
But monsters survive.
A servant approached. The Forsaken army is ready. Malric nodded.
Good.
The servant hesitated.
The Dragon Rider.
Malric looked at the crystal. Kael was training, failing, learning, growing.
He is exactly what Veyron wanted,
The servant waited. Malric smiled.
which is why he will hurt the most.
Inside the Black Covenant fortress, Kael continued the trial. Barely. Every challenge pushed him closer to his limits. Every battle revealed something new, but he could feel it. Someone was watching. Veyron felt it too.
He knows you.
Kael looked at the dragon.
Who?
Veyron did not answer, and that scared Kael. Back in Blackstone, Malric placed his hand against the Soul Forge. The machine responded.
One final piece.
The servant looked at him. What piece? Malric looked toward the mountains.
The Dragon Source.
A pause.
And the human carrying it.
The servant lowered his head. You intend to take the boy's bond? Malric shook his head.
No,
A dark smile appeared.
I intend to show him the truth.
The Soul Forge activated. The fortress trembled. What truth? Malric turned.
The truth that every rider eventually learns.
A pause.
The dragon does not save the human.
The chamber went silent.
The dragon uses the human.
Far away, Kael suddenly felt the bond weaken. He looked at Veyron.
Did you feel that?
The dragon stared into the distance.
Yes.
Kael waited.
What is happening?
Veyron's answer was quiet.
Someone is trying to break us apart.
The dragon looked toward the north, toward Malric.
And he knows exactly how.
Episode 14. The Dragon's Shadow. The Soul Forge awakened. Deep beneath Blackstone Fortress, ancient machinery moved for the first time in 1,000 years. The sound echoed through the underground chambers, not like a machine, like something waking up. Malric Voss stood in front of the forge, watching dark energy flow through the dragon bones surrounding it. The servants around him remained silent. They had seen their master destroy kingdoms. They had seen him command armies. But they had never seen him this focused, because this was not another war. This was personal. A figure entered the chamber, heavy footsteps, slow, controlled. A warrior wearing black armor stepped forward. Unlike the Forsaken, he walked like a human. Unlike the soldiers of the Black Covenant, he carried no symbol, only a single broken dragon fang attached to his weapon. Malric looked at him.
You are awake.
The warrior removed his helmet. A young man stared back. His eyes were empty, not emotionless, experienced. I heard the dragon returned. Malric nodded.
And a rider.
The warrior smiled slightly. A real rider? Malric looked at the crystal showing Kael.
That is what he believes.
The warrior looked at the image. A young hunter standing beside Veyron. He looks weak. Malric smiled.
Exactly.
The warrior looked confused. Then why send me? Malric turned.
Because strength is not what breaks people.
A pause.
Truth does.
The warrior stepped closer. What is my purpose? Malric answered.
Find Kael Veyron.
The warrior waited.
Kill him.
Malric shook his head.
No.
The room became silent.
Break him.
Far away, Kael continued training inside the Black Covenant fortress. The trials had changed him, but something was missing. He was stronger, faster, more skilled, but he still relied on reacting. He was still fighting every battle after it began. Veyron noticed.
You hesitate.
Kael looked at him.
I think before I attack.
The dragon shook his head.
No.
A pause.
You think because you are afraid of making the wrong choice.
Kael looked away. Before he could answer, the fortress alarm sounded. Something had entered. The doors exploded inward. Everyone turned. A lone warrior walked through the smoke. Kael stepped forward.
Who are you?
The warrior looked at him. My name is Darius Vane. A pause, and I was sent to see if you are worthy. Kael tightened his grip.
By who?
Darius smiled.
You already know.
Veyron's expression changed.
Malric.
Darius pulled his weapon, a blade made from black dragon steel. Show me the dragon's chosen. Kael prepared himself, but Veyron spoke quietly.
Kael,
The young rider looked back.
do not underestimate him.
A pause.
He was trained to kill people like you.
The battle began. Episode 15, The Warrior Who Killed Riders. Kael learned something quickly. Darius Veyron was not like the Forsaken. The Forsaken were monsters. Darius was worse. He was a person who understood exactly how to hurt him. The first strike came. Kael blocked. The impact forced him backward, too strong. Darius attacked again, not wildly, perfectly. Every movement had a purpose. Kael activated Dragon Sight. The world sharpened, energy appeared, movement patterns, weaknesses, but Darius had none. Kael froze. Impossible. Everyone had a weakness. Darius noticed. You are looking for a mistake, a strike. Kael dodged. You expect every enemy to reveal themselves. Another strike. You expect power to solve problems. Kael blocked. The force pushed him across the floor. That is why you will lose. Kael stood again.
Why are you doing this?
Darius looked at him. Because someone needs to. A pause. Someone needs to stop dragons before they destroy the world again. Kael realized. Darius wasn't fighting because he hated him. He believed he was saving people.
You think Veyron is the enemy?
Darius answered. I know what dragons do. The fight continued. Kael attacked. Darius countered. Kael used flame. Darius adapted. Kael used dragon resonance. Darius broke the rhythm. Every ability Kael gained, Darius already had an answer for, because Malric had studied him. Finally, Kael fell. His weapon slid away. Darius placed his blade near Kael's neck. You're not ready. Kael looked up.
Then why haven't you killed me?
Darius stopped, because the answer surprised even him. You remind me of someone. A pause.
Myself.
Darius lowered his weapon. Then suddenly, dark energy surrounded him. Malric's voice echoed.
Enough!
Darius froze. Kael looked confused.
He's controlling you?
Darius looked away. No. A pause. He saved me. Malric's voice returned.
Tell him the truth.
Darius remained silent, then finally spoke. I was a rider. Kael froze. My dragon died. A pause. And Malric was the only one who gave me a way to continue. Veyron's expression changed.
Another broken rider.
Darius looked at Kael. That is what you become if you fail. The words hit harder than the fight. Then Darius disappeared. Kael stood silently. Veyron spoke.
He was sent as a warning.
Kael looked at the empty doorway.
No.
A pause.
He was sent to make me afraid.
Far away, Malric watched. The plan was working, not because Darius defeated Kael, because Darius made him question himself. Malric smiled.
Good.
The boy is finally beginning to understand.